With three major games focusing on business and finance being released this second half of the year, it would seem that financial simulations are becoming a big deal. Interactive Magic will be getting back into the thick of things this month or so with Capitalism. In it, the player takes control of their own corporation with only one goal: make money, and make lots of it. When starting out, the player is armed with $10 million to do with as he pleases. The computer generates a world to play in where the player has to place his businesses in the most strategic places. For example, retail outlets work best in the middle of the city, while farming works best in rural areas. There are several types of structures to place, including factories, department stores, farms, and research and development. Each structure has its own place in the product development line. A farm or a mine is at the beginning, a retail outlet would be at the end, while manufacturing is somewhere in the middle. The player can start up a business in any or all of these areas, but each type of business is dependent on another. A retail store requires someone to develop the product being sold, while a manufacturing plant requires a provider of raw materials and a buyer for the finished product. There's a lot of interdependency in capitalism. To succeed, the player must discover how best to fit in. You can get involved in producing 40 different products, but they all aren't available at the beginning of the game. Some products require multiple products to develop them. For example, a player can't just buy milk from a farm and sell it as it is. It first requires glass for bottling. So, in order to sell bottled milk, a manufacturing plant must be built which combines both glass and milk and produces the final product, which can then be sold to a retail outlet. The interface in capitalism is really very clever. Each building that is placed on the map, be it a factory, department store, or farm, has 9 places for individual business units. These business units represent the actual departments and people who run things. For a retail outlet to start selling goods, the player must first start up a purchasing department and specify which business that department will buy goods from. Once that is done, a sales department must be started in order to actually sell the product. Capitalism features a nifty flowchart-style interface in which the player can connect each individual business department. So you can specify things like which sales department sells each respective purchasing department's product. When you get into messing around with manufacturing and advertising, this style of interface really comes in handy. Along with products, the player also has to play the stock market. The player has the responsibility of issuing his corporation's stock at the right time and in the right amount. The player also has $1 million credited to him personally to invest however he wants. All of the other corporations have stock which can be traded, so shrewd investment can be an additional source of income. And since buying and selling large quantities of stocks can affect the price of the stocks, a wise CEO can hurt the competition using the stock market. Capitalism keeps track of about anything that can be measured or rated. Through a ton of graphs, charts, and percentages, capitalism works as your personal research department, number crunching like you wouldn't believe. If you want to know the quality of any product, what attributes are important to consumers, the 12-month history of the company, you name it, capitalism has the ability to show it. While capitalism is very business-oriented, that doesn't mean that it's slow and boring. There are enough variables, combinations, and choices in this game to give the most advanced simulation or strategy game a run for its money. If you always wanted to run your own business, Capitalism by Interactive Magic will give you a chance when it hits the shelves in October.